Unacademy. Let's crack it.
Hello, this is Abhishek Saraf. I have secured All India Rank 8th in UPSC Civil Service Exam of 2019. In this video, I will be discussing my book list for GS 1, 2, 3, 4. This was my 4th attempt and 3rd selection, and I basically relied on standard books and made my own notes for current affairs from newspapers. I used online sources for that. So let's begin. See, for this topic, culture, it is well known that this topic is very static and there is a lot of depth to be covered in this topic, but then the cost benefit of this topic is not very favorable. Literature, art forms, architecture, very wide topic, very static topic, not much logic, but a lot of mugging up to do. But then the cost benefit is not very favorable. So I restricted to a standard book list. R.S. Sharma, main book for ancient India, had certain topics of culture. Satish Chandra, main book for medieval India. So again, this book has been written in such a way that it has segregated topics for economic significance, cultural significance of certain periods. So this book is quite useful in covering topics selectively. Nitin Singhania sir's handwritten notes only, not book, were primary source for culture for me. Then Google searches for images and history NCERTs from 6 to 12 had certain parts that could be used in culture as well. Fine arts NCERT, that was another source for me for culture. Coming to modern history, restricted list of sources, not much diversity not much diverse sources to follow. Read this book once. Incidentally, this was the first book I read for civil services preparation. Just read this one for background understanding. I was starting my preparation, but then it is good for someone who is trying to understand the background of things. Modern history book, Spectrum by Mr. Rajiv Ahir. Extremely important source, almost the exclusive source for this topic. I must accept that I skipped this topic almost. Very less weightage of this topic in the exam, both in prelims as well as mains. So I read this book once, did not revise this book, almost skipped this topic. Post-independence consolidation. Before starting my preparation for civil services exam, I did not have any knowledge regarding the post-independence India. So I had to build a knowledge base from absolute zero. Even though this book has been called very hefty, very bulky, people tend to avoid this book. But then I read this book. I made notes out of this book. I have hosted handwritten notes on my Google Drive, and then I used those notes for multiple revisions. So that gave me a good background in post-independence consolidation in India. NCERT 12th class, Politics in India since independence. It has certain relevant chapters. Certain contribution by leaders have been hosted in NCERT. Like this is the page of the book. So certain information is given here which is quite relevant, quite useful. So I used these two sources for post-independence consolidation and reorganization of India. History of the world, which included events from 18th century, Industrial Revolution, redrawal of national boundaries, scramble of Africa, colonization, decolonization, philosophies of communism, capitalism. My primary source was Nitin Sangwan sir's handwritten notes. And then for revision, for understanding, multiple revisions of these books, these notes by Nitin Sangwan sir, and for understanding, Arjun Dev sir's book. It was also an NCERT, then it was published into a standalone book. This was a source that I used. Salient features of Indian society. See, the differentiating element of my preparation was that I used to make my own notes from current affairs from newspapers. I did not go for any XYZ compilation that comes a couple of months before prelims or mains. But then I spent a lot of time on newspaper. 3 to 3.5 hours were spent on newspaper daily. That gave me an advantage that I had sufficient amount of material for several topics. Other than that, Sociology NCERT, 11th class only. No other reference source were used. No coaching material, no IGNOU material, nothing else. Reading newspapers thoroughly, gave me sufficient material for several topics like these in all GS 1, 2, 3. Then similarly, role of women, women's organization. Just two sources, the relevant chapter on role of women from India since independence and newspapers. Effect of globalization, most of the answers could be written by understanding that I developed by reading the newspaper and some common sense. Social empowerment and communalism, then relevant chapters of India since independence. Very good discourse has been given on regionalism in this book. Other than that, NCRTs and newspapers. Time and again, editorials and articles come in newspaper which explain these things. So topics like these, they get covered pretty well from newspapers. Other than that, you can do Google searches, or you can even read NCRT, basic polity NCRT for this. Just one reading is enough, not more than that is needed. Salient features of world's physical geography. I have emphasized time and again on several platforms that for geography, very restricted sources were used. 9 to 12th class NCRTs, new NCRTs, and GC Young, fantastic book, very nice books. Atlas for some value addition. Distribution of key natural resources across the world. Factors responsible for location of primary, secondary, and tertiary sector. Now, one chapter of NCRT, it lists the factors for location of industries. Very well covered. Then there was the Atlas and online searches for value addition. Time and again, content would come in newspapers as well, which was converted into digital notes in Evernote. For GS 1, 2, 3, 4. Then geophysical phenomena, volcanics, tsunamis, earthquakes, cyclones. See, I read Down to Earth for a couple of years. It gave me a massive foundation of things. Most of the questions could be solved from this foundation that I got. Then geography NCRT is a pretty good source for covering these things. Newspapers, time and again, mention topics like these. And then I was a sincere student since college, sincere student of civil engineering, and that background helped me a lot to write basic theoretical concepts of these things like tsunamis, earthquakes, volcanic activity. That helped me a lot. Coming to GS2, almost every static topic of GS2 can be covered from Lakshmikant, and then value addition can be done from newspapers. Then functions and responsibilities of union and states and challenges, finances, at local level, local governance, challenges therein, Punchi Commission reports, Lakshmikant, and newspapers, and some value addition by second ARC report. Separation of powers between various organs, dispute redressal mechanism, once again, Lakshmikant, newspaper, and Punchi Commission's reports. Very good reports. Recommendations are still relevant. And second ARC reports. Comparison of Indian Constitution. Not many questions are coming in the recent years from this topic. A couple of years ago, US Constitution and Indian Constitution. Some question based on that came. But then enough material is available in public domain, in newspaper. Enough material keeps on coming regarding US Constitution. So that answer could have been written without much exclusive study for that topic. So I mentioned US and then newspaper and then online sources. Lakshmikant and salient features part. That is quite useful for answering questions here. Not much exclusive practice and study was needed for this topic. State legislature structure functioning, pretty much standard source for it. You don't have to follow other sources like DD Basu or S. Kashyap book. They are not needed. Although I did read this book once out of interest, but then I would not advise you to spend time on this book. It is not needed. Newspapers, they have to be followed religiously. Judiciary, ministries, departments, formal, informal associations. Then Lakshmikant and second ARC report of social capital. Then there is an ARC report regarding the structure of government in India. You can briefly look over it, but then not much content is needed from that report to write good answers. Enough content comes in the newspapers as it is. Salient features, Representation of People Act. Enough content comes online and in newspapers. You just have to do Google searches. You will find PDFs right away which mention the salient features of Representation of People Act. Appointment to various constitutional posts, powers, constitutional bodies, regulatory bodies. This is a very good book for that. And newspapers. Pretty much standard sources, not much diversity to be followed. Just standard newspapers and websites. See, whenever I say newspaper, I mean newspaper plus websites. These websites host summaries of editorials daily and daily current affairs summaries, and then quizzes. When I mention websites, these are the three things that I was doing from the websites: editorials, current affairs summary, daily current affairs, and quizzes. I used to follow these websites daily, not on a monthly basis, on a daily basis. And then government policies, interventions, development of various sectors. As simple as that. ARC reports, Punchi Commission. I read 12 reports, made summaries out of 10 of them, and revised those summaries all over and over again, used the recommendations of those summaries. Social Capital ARC report, important for donors, charities, associations, NGOs, SHGs. Directly discourse on them can be found here, and newspapers. Like I mentioned, when I said newspaper, 3 websites: editorials, current affairs, and quizzes. Followed them daily. First, I would read these websites, the material that they host daily, and then I would go to the Hindu and Indian Express. Whatever content was covered in these websites, I would skip them from the PDF of the Hindu. Rest content I would read myself and make notes daily. Role of civil services in a democracy, ARC report. Standard ARC report is there. Other than that, newspapers to cover issues like lateral entry, civil services reform, etc. Then topics like vulnerable sections, center and states, performance, mechanisms, laws and institutions, bodies for protection of betterment of vulnerable sections. This pretty much can be covered from newspapers and ARC Punchi Commission's reports. Not much material is needed. Important aspects of governance, once again: potential, limitations, success, citizen charter. A couple of years ago, a question came on citizen charter. Standard answer is available in ARC reports. Transparency, accountability, standard RTI ARC report, report number 1. Then enough material comes in newspapers. Now this is a tricky topic because you need a lot of background to be able to understand what is happening in the editorial. So, Challenges and Strategy, Rethinking India's Foreign Policy, Mr. Rajiv Sikri sir's book. Very nice book, very simply written book, very lucid book. You can read it just like a novel. Mind you, you will not be able to form much points for usage in mains from this book, but this book will enable you to understand what is happening in the newspaper, why certain kind of backdrop is there in certain relations with countries like India-China relations, India-Malaysia relations, India-Russia, India-US relations. This book gives a very good background of these things. Then bilateral, regional, global groupings, effect of policies and politics developed and developing countries, international institutions and agencies, structure and mandate. Not much sources to follow, not many sources to follow. Sincere reading of newspaper and Google searches for examples of diaspora, factual points regarding institution, fora, mandate, structure. Spend couple of days doing Google searches. One link will lead to another. Cover standard organizations which are in news all the time, things like that, its subordinate bodies. Develop half-page notes, and they will be more than enough. They will help you through attempts. Unacademy Aspire has been hosting quizzes for prelim students. They are free mock tests conducted on 10th to on 25th every month. You can check them out. Maybe you'll find them useful. If you find them useful, you can pursue them. Thank you very much.